Hey folks, Big D here. Today we're going to do a real simple cook. We're going to make homemade Big Macs and French fries. So it's not that hard, but they are really good. It's actually one of my favorite sandwiches. I love Big Macs, I always have, and as you can tell. But anyway, let me show you how we do it, and let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is mix up the Big Mac sauce, which has, the ingredients are 1 cup of mayo, 4 tablespoons of dill pickle relish, not sweet relish, it's gotta be dill pickle relish. That's the key to the sauce in my opinion. It tastes totally different than sweet relish. 2 tablespoons of finely chopped onions, 4 tablespoons of ketchup, 4 tablespoons of yellow mustard, 2 teaspoons of white vinegar, a half a teaspoon of paprika, a half a teaspoon of granulated garlic, and a half a teaspoon of granulated onion. And you could use onion powder or garlic powder. I just always prefer granulated. And then all we're gonna do is mix this up, and if you mix it up and let it sit for an hour or so in the fridge, it'll taste better. That's why I'm making this first, so I can get it in the fridge. But that's it. So we'll put that in the fridge. I'll mix it a little more, and we'll put it in the fridge, and then we'll do the rest of it here in a second. All right, so now the next thing I'm gonna do is prep the French fries. I'm just gonna do a couple of them. I mean, it's not rocket science. Just plain old potatoes. I just washed them off. And then all you're gonna do is cut them up in whatever size French fry you think you're gonna want. Some people like big ones, some people like shoestrings or whatever, but just cut them up in whatever size you want. You can leave the skins on them. Be sort of like a beach fry. And I'm just gonna cut up a bunch of potatoes, just enough, so I know I have enough. And then what I'm gonna do, if you have time, you don't have to do this, but what I'll do is drop them in water. Usually a couple hours works, but they say overnight's better. And what I'll do is I'll drop them in water, and it'll get the starch out of them. And I'll come back in like an hour or so, and the water will be all cloudy. I'll dump it out and put fresh water in. And they say it makes them crispier. I'm not 100% sure, but that supposedly is the secret behind McDonald's French fries, is that they soak them in water and get the starch out of them. So I'll cut some more up, throw them in there, and we'll be back in a second. I'll show you how to get the burgers ready. All right, so I'm gonna show you how I make the burgers. We're just using plain old 80/20 ground beef. And what I do is I just make a small burger because we're gonna put a double patty on this. So it's probably not even a 1/4 pound of meat. And they're gonna cook real fast. So I just make a small, something like that. Wish I had a scale here. I weigh them, but I have one, but it's in the basement. But anyway, just small flat burgers that they're gonna probably literally cook in under 5 minutes. They're almost like a smash burger, but they're just gonna be formed out before you put them on the griddle. You're not gonna smash it on the griddle, you're just gonna smash it here, I guess. I won't make a bunch of them, but I'm just showing you how I do it. And when you put two of those together, it's going to be a nice sandwich. And I don't think they spice it at all, but I'm going to put a little bit of my beef rub, the same stuff I used on the brisket in the other video. I use it on so many things. And I'm just going to do one side of it, push it down in there, and that's it. That's simple. And we will head out and cook them here in a second. All right, folks, so I'm outside in the in my driveway with my fish cleaning table. I'm on my fish cleaning table that was about 40 bucks on Amazon. And I have my Oster electric frying pan. So if you don't have one of these, I would say you should get one. And I'll tell you why. But let me show you what we're going to do. We're going to do the fries right now. So what I did was I put about a ½ inch of oil in here. I set the electric thermometer to 375 degrees. And when the light goes out on the thermometer, that means you hit 375 degrees, and now you're ready to go. So what I'm going to do is open this up. I don't like to play with oil. Hot oil is not good. And then I'm going to take some of the fries and I'm going to start dropping them in the oil. I put it on 375 because I know the temperature is going to drop when I put these cold fries in. 325, 350 is where you really want to be, but I know this is going to drop the temperature, so I want them crispy. And I'm not going to overload it, so that's what I'm going to put in right now. And then all I'm going to do is take these tongs and move them around a little. And I like to cut them. Some people like real thick fries. I sort of like them a little thinner like this because once they get to the color that you like, you know that they're done. The thicker ones, sometimes they're still raw in the middle. But anyway, we'll let these cook. But if you don't have one of these electric frying pans, I'm telling you, they're a great investment. They're probably like 40 bucks at Kmart. I think that's where I got this. And what happened was I always try to fry chicken, and it never comes out right. And I always try to fry it in a cast iron skillet. So I went on YouTube one day and I'm like, let me find out how people are doing this. And I ran across this guy named Shotgun Red. And he has a YouTube channel. And he's actually passed away now. He was actually already passed away when I started watching him. I didn't know it, but he really makes some good food. And but what he does is when he makes his chicken, he says, use these electric skillets because you can control the temperature exactly, and you don't burn it. You don't make the the breading too dark or whatever. And the other tip that he gave was he would put it in the oil and control the temperature. But once he got the breading the color that he wanted, and if he wasn't close to being done temperature wise at 165, he would pull it out of the oil, put it on a baking sheet, and stick it in the oven and finish it. And basically his theory was, do you want really good chicken that looks nice, or do you want to, say, I'm a purist, I only cook in cast iron, blah, 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 and your chicken's burnt and it's not that good. And I'm like, well, I want good chicken, and that's what I'm trying to make. And I switched over to this electric skillet, and I use it for so many things. But anyway, if you don't have one, I would recommend getting one. And check out Shotgun Red's site. Even though he's passed away, he has some really good recipes, and he was a good cook. But anyway, I'm going to let these cook for a while, and then I'll come back here when they're done, and I'll I'll show you what we're going to do with them. All right, man, it's time to pull them off. I didn't realize, if you ever grew up around carnivals or, you know, around the beach, I guess state fairs, I mean, the smell of these things cooking just brings back old memories from when I was a child. But we're gonna just pull them off. I just have this Tupperware container with some paper towels in the bottom to absorb some of the grease, oil. But man, this smell is amazing. So we have the fries pulled off, and then we have some kosher salt, and we're just going to hit them with salt while they're still hot. And there you go. I would almost guess this is probably what McDonald's fries were like back in the 50s. But these are really good. We're going to cook the rest of them, and then we'll make the burgers. Alright, so we have the second batch of fries going here, and I'll tell you what I did. I turned the oil up. The highest this fryer will go is 420. And I turned it up to 420 because a couple things. I want them to get really crispy. And also, I'm outside in my driveway. I'm not afraid of 420 degrees. In my kitchen, I might be afraid if there was a fire or something like that. But out here, I'm not afraid of that. So I'm going to put it up higher than normal because I really want it to get crispy. And I'm telling you, if you don't have one of these fryers, and if you're not cooking outside, you should try it. It opens, and all the mess is outside. I'm not doing this in my kitchen. I used to do it in my kitchen. My whole house smells like French fries and grease for a month. There's grease everywhere. And now it's in my driveway. I squirt it off with the hose, put some Simple Green down if I have to, and I'm done. But anyway, I just thought I'd tell you, I'm always trying to get better, and I think 420 is probably a better temperature because there's so many potatoes in here that you need to keep that temperature up to get the crispiness that you want. So we'll be back. All right, so we dumped the grease in my famous grease dumping spot behind my garage that the wild animals love. And back up to 375. And we're just gonna start dropping these burgers on. They're not gonna take long. And that side has a little bit more grease, but I'm just going to push them down a little, get some contact with the surface. Yeah, I should have dumped a little more of that grease out, but oil. It'll be fine. So we're just going to stick with this cook. It's not going to take that long. But you know, when I was doing this, it brought me back to back in the day. I was doing a business and I was pretty money motivated, which is fine, you know, as long as money doesn't become your main focus on life. And when people say, the Bible says, money is the root of all evil, but it actually says the love of money is the root of all evil. So with that being said, I used to read a lot of autobiographies about successful people, and one of them was Ray Kroc, the guy who started McDonald's. And if I remember, he was 56 years old when he started McDonald's. And when he died, he was one of the richest men in the world. Which I remember back in the day, just realizing that, it's never over till it's over. And it's not about money. He died one of the richest guys in the world. I know his wife died, I think the second richest woman in the world at the time. But she was also one of the biggest philanthropists. I think that's what they're called. But she was one of the people that gave more money away to help needy people and charities and different things like that. But I don't know, it just made me think, it's never over till it's over. Nobody's too old to do anything. And, don't give up. Just keep going. Here we are, 60-something years later, still cooking Ray Kroc's famous burger, the Big Mac. But anyway, I don't know. It just brought back that memory. But so we're gonna keep cooking these things. It's not gonna take long. I like pushing them down just so they have contact with the surface of the hot pan so that they get some caramelization on them. And they're so thin, they're just going to cook really quick. So I'm going to wait about another minute. And I'm going to go ahead and put the cheese on them, which is yellow American cheese. It's not cheddar like a lot of people think. They use yellow American cheese on their burgers. I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible, but if I shut it off now and come back, I'm not going to save much time. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting the cheese on. You really only need one slice per burger because you're going to put 2 burgers on the sandwich, which gives you plenty of cheese. And you can see it's already melting. Start pulling them off. Yeah, let these melt a little more. And we'll drop some more on in the bare spots. Anyway, that's how we cook them. And I'll finish cooking these burgers, then we'll go inside and we'll put one together. All right, folks, we're going to put this together now. So obviously you start out with the sesame seed bun. And as we're putting it together, I just want to clarify something I said earlier. About the money being the root of all evil. And the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. And what that means is, if money is what you live for, right? If you judge people by how much money they have, if you set people's value on what you think of them by their position in life, that's not godly. That's not the way you're supposed to live. Like, people are not supposed to be judged by that. Like, you know, I read one time, one of the most influential people in the world didn't have any money, and that was Mother Teresa. And she had affected more people in a positive way than probably any billionaire that's ever lived. So money is not anything to judge somebody by. Money is not something to live for. Money is just something that can help you and help other people. And if you help other people and you do good for other people, money is awesome. But if you live for power and money and to hold other people down, money is evil. And that's all I meant by that. But anyway, let's put this sandwich together. So we're gonna put a little bit of this sauce on each part of the bun. And I feel like the sauce is literally, for a Big Mac, that is the key to it. So now we're gonna put one of the burgers, a little more sauce. I don't have the third piece of bread that goes in here. I mean, I can do that, but it doesn't, to me, it doesn't add anything to it. So we're not gonna do that. And what I do is I put the onions in the middle because they're chopped. I put another burger, a little more of that. And then normally I have round pickles, but this is what I have today. I put a couple pickles, some shredded lettuce, and I put that, and there you go. That is a Big Mac made at your house. And then you add some of these fries with it. Here, let me throw it together real quick. The Big Mac, some fries, and there you go. I mean, I know you can run to McDonald's and buy this for $11, but this is way more fun. It's probably better, honestly, and you can do it for your family and make them feel special. But this is one of my favorites of all time. I'm a Big Mac guy. I love Big Macs, as you can tell if you look at me. But anyway, that's how you do it. If you try it, let me know. I'm dying for somebody to try one of my recipes and let me know that it came out good. If it came out bad, let me know what went wrong. But anyway, there you go. All right, see you next time.